Okay, for this project you will need 2 placemats. I got these from Dollar Tree, or some really stiff interfacing. You'll need a piece of felt. You also need to cut one wide strip to be the bottom of the bag. You'll need some black felt for the face, or red felt, or whatever emoji, the colors of the emoji you'd like to make. You'll need a piece of Velcro, both sides, the rough and the soft side. You can, this one's sticky back, so it's got the glue on it. You'll also need 2 long strips for the bag straps, some Wonder Under or Heat and Bond paper, and a cake pan to use for a circle template, permanent marker, scissors, and you can use hot glue for this project also. Okay, so I basically took my giant piece of felt. You could probably use a whole yard for this because it's pretty wide. So I'm just cut off a piece and I folded it twice. So I have 4 layers, so I have to do 1 cut. And then I'm just laying my pan on top and tracing it with my marker. And that's going to be both sides of the bag. I'm also going to trace the circle on each one of the placemats and cut all of these pieces out. And you might get marker on your pan, so just be careful. Okay, be right back. So I forgot to say, for the 2 placemat circles, you want to cut them slightly smaller because you're going to be sandwiching, slightly smaller than your yellow circle, because we're going to be sandwiching them in between the middle. Okay, before I glue these pieces together, I'm going to take that single strip for the bottom of the bag, and I'm just going to take one end and measure from our yellow circle from about here all the way around to here. Just make sure they're even on both sides. So you just take your piece down, lay it, and kind of just eyeball it. And felt's kind of nice, it stands up, so you can kind of gauge. You need to cut it. We're just going to cut it. I'm going to go heat up my glue gun. And I basically took the placemat piece and sandwiched it in the middle here. I'm going to zoom it up close so you can see the pattern side. This will be the inside of the bag, and the white side will be the outer. So I'll show you again on the second piece. The piece with the marker on it, I'm going to glue on the inside. Just take my placemat piece, put some glue on it to get it started, and just glue it down. And then I'm just going to glue the other piece on top. Take your time with this. I'm just gluing around the edges. Unless you want to use a lot of glue, you can, but you don't have to. So I'm just gluing all the way around the placemat piece to one side of one of the felt circles. And be careful, hot glue gun burns suck. So I'll do that, and I'll show you how to do the strap too. And then I'm just going to take the other piece, lay it on top, and glue it around. And I like to reinforce the edges, so I just take the glue and put it here, and then just sandwich it closed. It's an extra step, but you really don't have to do it unless you want to. Do the strap. You just take one of your really long pieces. We're going to end up with something like this. Two of them. You don't have to make your straps this long. I just like having long straps. So you're just going to take one in. And we'll put a line of glue. And we're just going to fold it down. It's going to be our hem. And do the same thing to the other side. Okay. And then you're going to take your time. You're basically going to fold this in thirds. So you're going to fold it up here. Glue this piece all the way down the middle. And then we're going to take this edge. Fold it over. And glue it down on top. Kind of like bias tape almost. Without putting the each piece in the middle. But you can do it that way also. So I'm just going to take, just eyeball it in the center here and just glue it up. And I'm just going to do this all the way down. If you don't want to wait like me, I go ahead and just try folding this down like this. It's Iskra's birthday, so happy birthday, Iskra. Thank you. But you'll need a lot of glue sticks for this, obviously, or you can sew it if you prefer. Okay, as I said before, you can even trim up these edges if you like. But as you can see the printed side on the placemat. That's going to be the inside of the bag, and the white's going to be the outside. Then we're going to take our piece that we measured around, and we're just going to glue it around one of the pieces on one side. Carefully glue it around. Ow. Be careful, glue gun burns. Suck. So this is felt. Felt's lovely because it doesn't fray. It's kind of nice. And you can make this the person's favorite emoji. Mine happens to be the rolling over laughing face, so that's the face I'm going to use for this bag. Eyeballing it. I may trim this down just a little bit more because I think it might be a little bit too long. So I'm just going to take it up here. Looks good. Sometimes it's hard to visualize until you actually attach it. So I'm just going to take the excess here, fold it down, and cut it off. And attach these, we'll attach the straps last. So I'm just going to take my top circle. The printed side is going to be in the inside. And this part could be a little tricky. You can actually fold this in half and then fold it down and then place this circle on top and carefully glue it around. I also forgot to mention, if you want to finish your edges instead of leaving them raw and open, you can either get a piece of yellow ribbon or bias tape, and just before you glue or stitch the middle on, you can just go around each one. This looks good so far. That's it. I glued the middle on. Now we have our little bag bottom. So the next step is the face. You can either use paper and a white colored pencil to trace it onto the felt, or chalk, or you can use the Wonder under here. I'll show you how to do that. Basically, I'm just going to cut off a section or Wonder Under or Heat and Bond. It's basically like a double-sided adhesive. It has paper on one side and it has glue on the other side. Okay, so I basically have this. It's starting to peel apart for some reason. I think it's old. But the glue side, or the bumpy or shiny side, face down on the fabric, paper side up. And we're just going to press this onto the quilt here. Make sure your iron is really hot. But be careful with felt because it's made out of acrylic and it doesn't always do well with heat. And I'm going to take my marker and draw up my eyeballs. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm just going to draw up the eyes. The laughing eyes. And also, I'm going to do the mouth in black too. And I'm sure there's probably a template or a pattern online you can use if you don't want to draw it yourself. I'm just going to cut these out, put it on the bag, and stitch them on. Okay, so I'm just going to hot glue all this, but instead of pressing it. But you basically just, if you were going to press it, you just peel off the paper. And now you can see the glue is on the back side. And we're just going to lay it down on our bag. Actually, I'm going to do this with all of the pieces. Okay, crisis averted. I'm just laying out my face on the bag. And I'm just going to hot glue this, but like I said earlier, you can press it down if you want. So I have my face on there. And then I'm just going to glue the straps on and we're done. Oh, and the Velcro for the closure. You can also put the face on the other side if you want. So I have my face on here, and then I'm just going to take my straps, my super long straps, and I'm going to glue them. You just make a U shape, and then you just glue. You might need a lot of glue. And you're just going to put each one on each side. Ow. Be careful for hot glue burns. Now, you don't have to put, I left a small opening in this bag, so I really don't need the Velcro. But if I was going to do the Velcro, here it is. I would just take it and glue it like right here on both sides so I can just, snap it and close it. And that's it. It's super cute. These straps are a little long. I think I'm going to shorten it. If you want to shorten it, you just take your scissors, cut it down. I'm just going to cut off a little bit and then do the same. I'll just take the piece I cut off, measure it against the other strap. Cut it down. Good. So you just take your loop, curl it around, add some glue on the end, and glue it to the inside of your bag. And I always like to check to see how it holds in case I need to reinforce it with some more glue. You can also stitch this down if you want. Do the same thing on the other side. And we're done. This is a cheap gift. Might be a little time consuming to make. But I think it'll make a super cute gift for someone if they really like emojis. Or if you know like an emoji they use all the time. You can also like use it as a gift bag and put a cute gift inside. So that's it. That's our little emoji bag. Stay tuned for the next gift idea.